We are here with cross-country head coach Andrew Allden as he recaps his team's past weekend. You were upstate at Winthrop at the Winthrop Invitational, ran very well, finished second overall to Appalachian State. Coach, talk us through kind of the weekend and how you felt the girls ran.
Well, I felt like we ran pretty well. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't match up a touch closer to Appalachian. I was hoping it would be a little bit more of an even battle than it was. After the meet, though, I talked to the app coach and I told him honestly that I felt like they were better than their ranking, and I think that was reflected in the poll that came out this past week with us being number 8 in the region and them being number 14 in the region, which I think is a pretty fair depiction of where they sit and where we sit at this point in the season.
And it seemed like across the board you had improved times, a bunch of personal bests, season bests, led off by Mary Reiser, who finishes second overall, runs about 18-11, low 18s. How do you feel the team did, depth-wise from 1 through 15?
Well, I felt like we had a very solid team performance. I think you hit it right in that Mary, obviously running number 2 for us, had a very good day. She was beat by somebody. She was second, beat by somebody who in the first two was NCAA qualifier on the track last year. So I feel like she went head-to-head with that girl for about 1.5 miles. So I felt like that was a solid performance. Monica York, running number 2 for us, is kind of getting back to where she was in track last year. So I feel like that's a solid performance by her. We got Emily Harding back in the lineup for her first cross-country race of the year. She ran number 3 for us, which is certainly very, very promising for somebody who's predominantly a miler. Then we had some solid performances out of folks like Allie Sprague and Martha McCoy. And we had a freshman, Samantha Farmer, who ran top 7 for us, which Sam's been looking very good in workouts, and I've been looking forward to her kind of breaking into the top 7 and maybe starting to knock on the top 5, the door of the top 5 for us. So all in all, I felt like we had some pretty solid performances. I think probably one of the things that separated us a little bit from App was frankly, Hannah Jean Grassborough did not have as good a race as she'd had 2 weeks ago. Had a little bit of an off week, and then Ashley Miller, who ran top 5 for us in the first meet, she was sick this week. So we kind of had two of the previous meets, top 4 or 5, that really didn't either have a good day or really didn't have a performance for us. So I'm hoping as the season progresses, we'll get those folks back at the same level, and we'll be that much more solid and that much deeper.
And the depth was kind of paying off. The team was ranked today 14th in the USTF CCCA Southeast Regional Poll. How does it feel to kind of get some recognition nationally for what you've been able to do for these first 2 races?
Well, I think, honestly, I feel like the poll is a fair ranking of our team performance. I look at who we finished behind, I look at who we finished in front of, and if I were writing the poll, that's about where I'd put us. I'd like to see us move up. I've told the women we're shooting to crack the top 10 by the end of the year, and I think we've got a shot at that. We've got to continue to perform consistently. I think we're going to be a solid team over 6K. And I think as we move to 6K, that's actually going to be a little bit of benefit for us in terms of our potential to move up at the regional level. So we're definitely looking to do that. Highest finish we've had in recent years is about 9th. So if we can get into that top 10 territory, I'd say that's a good solid ranking for us.
And now looking ahead to this week, you have a midweek race, the USC Open. It's going to be about a 2-mile course. Kind of talk us through what you're expecting from the team at a different distance.
Sure. Well, we're kind of running basically our B team this week, basically number 11 through about number 18 or 19 on the team. Give them a little bit different opportunity, an opportunity to run up front in a little bit smaller meet. Have 2 solid Division I teams in the Citadel and South Carolina State for them to kind of match up with. And as you mentioned, the 2-mile distance being a little bit shorter kind of makes for a little bit more intense race, kind of brings the middle distance runners into the competition just a little bit more. So it will be the same site as we used for our first home meet, but basically they'll do 2 loops instead of 3 and finish up pretty quickly. The whole thing will be over lickety split probably in about 12 minutes. So it's a little bit more intense, hopefully a little bit more exciting. And a kind of a different cast of folks running 1 through 8 for us this week.
All right, Coach Allden, thanks for your time.
Thank you.